This is the unboxing of the Steinhart Ocean One Black men's wristwatch. I had made a decision that I wanted to purchase a diving watch. I had been using a Seiko solar chronograph, which was a very nice watch, but ultimately I think it was a little bit too modern for my taste and my style. I really wanted something that was very similar to an homage watch for the Rolex Submariner. So I did a bit of research. Obviously there's a lot of good Submariners out there. I think one of my priorities is I definitely wanted a watch that was under $1,000 US and preferably under $500 US, depending on whether or not it would have all the features that I was looking for. Like a lot of folks who are into watches, I certainly looked at all the possibilities out there: Helton, Stowa, Seiko, Raven, MK2, but I eventually settled on the Steinhart because one, the price is amazing. 295 euros, which comes out to $387 US, and then for an additional 30 euros or about $39 US for the shipping costs. So in total around 430 US dollars, including shipping, to get the watch. And we'll take a look at some of the features as we unbox it. In terms of ordering the watch, all said and done, it took about 13 days to receive it. I placed the order and used PayPal to order it on October 16th. The next day, on October 17th, I got my order confirmation email from Steinhart. On 10/22, after 5 days, I got a shipping confirmation from Steinhart saying that the watch was on its way. 2 days later, on October 24th, I got my first tracking email from FedEx saying that the watch had been received into their system and it was scheduled for delivery on October 27th. The next email communication came from FedEx on October 27th, the day that it was supposed to be delivered, saying that there was a problem. The watch had not cleared customs and a revised delivery date was no longer available. I waited another day until the 28th, where I proactively had to call FedEx as opposed to them calling me, and that led to several phone conversations with customer service reps who couldn't locate the watch. They didn't know where it was. Then another call, they revealed that the watch was in customs, but there was some question as to whether or not the band on the watch was some sort of exotic animal skin, you know, alligator or ostrich or something that would cause it to be delayed in customs clearance. I explained to them, no, it's simply a stainless steel watch, band, no exotic leathers. They said, oh, okay, we'll take that back to the customs clearance people. There was another email update about an hour later saying that the watch had finally cleared customs. I called customer service back to find out when the revised delivery date would be. The service rep said they couldn't locate the watch. They thought it was lost and they were putting a trace on it. Long story short, they found the watch and it was delivered on October 29th. So all in all, from the time that I actually ordered the watch and paid for it, till the time I actually received it, that was a 13-day time period. So the first thing you'll notice is that here is the FedEx package that arrived today. I have to admit I was a little bit surprised. I was expecting to receive some sort of fiberboard, cardboard box, you know, with packing peanuts or plastic bubble wrap, but instead what I have here is an actual FedEx pack, and it's a padded pack, which means on the interior they are using bubble wrap to protect the package. So it's basically just the actual watch container inside a padded bubble wrap pack. And although I'm sure it's good enough protection, if I shake it, I can feel a little bit of movement of the box inside. I'm sure that it's been wrapped up pretty securely and won't be damaged. But again, the expectation, you know, spending $400 plus on a watch, I was expecting a shipping container that was a little bit more robust and could stand up to any potential problems. So with that being said, let's take the scissors here and cut open the pack. So again, as I explained, the FedEx pack has some integrated bubble wrap on it. And then it looks like Steinhart then took their box and wrapped it in some bubble wrap as well. There's probably, I'd guess that to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, and it seems to be wrapped around it once or twice to give it a little bit more protection. So we'll cut that away. And here's what we find inside. The Steinhart timepieces box. We'll hold that up a little bit to the camera so that you can get a better look as to what exactly that looks like. It's a white cardboard box, Steinhart symbol with Steinhart timepieces embossed in a, and that's not ink printing, that's an actual sort of like a gold leaf emboss on the box. On top of the box, I'm assuming this is probably my order confirmation. Yes, it is. Confirming that the actual price for the watch was 294.12 euros, an additional 30 euro shipping charge. And it's kind of cool because all of this is written in German. 324.12 euros was the total cost. So, taking the box, we take off the cover. First thing that we see is the operating instructions, written in both German and in English. I'm sure telling you how to set the watch and change the date, rotate the bezel. I would imagine how to change the size of the band is probably in there as well. And then here's a yellow Steinhart, please read. Please note, if you want to take advantage of our 14-day return policy to the full extent, please do not remove the protective film of the watch, the metal bracelet, and the clasp within this period. Also, please refrain from shortening the metal bracelet. Only if you follow these instructions and the product remains fully intact will we be able to refund the full purchase price. So that's a good thing to know, in that if there's any potential that you may not like this watch, or the watch is damaged, or whatever the reason may be, if you want a full refund within that 14-day period, the plastic cannot come off of the watch. So inside, piece of white tissue paper, very similar to wrapping paper that you might get for a present. We pull out the actual Steinhart display box. I've seen other videos unboxing of these watches Folks have referred to this as a leather box. I'm not sure if it is or is not an actual leather box, whether it's leatherette or some kind of faux leather. But it's certainly pretty good quality. There is a very light grain to it that if it isn't actual leather, it certainly looks like a reasonable facsimile of leather. There is a little flap that has a hole cut out that fits over this silver tab that holds it down. And we open up the box and we see the watch inside. The top is that same sort of egg carton material that you would see in a soundproof booth or a recording studio. It's just simply held. It's not glued or anything like that. It's just simply pushed in there to protect the watch from jostling around and whatnot. So we pull the watch out. First thing we notice, as you might expect, is that the bracelet is at its largest size. It rests on the pillow, but it's not completely sized to fit the pillow, but rather just to sort of keep it in place. So here's the actual watch. As the yellow card told us, there is a plastic protective cover on top of the watch dial, on the not on the dial, but on the sapphire crystal. There is protective plastic that goes around the entire band. There's more protective plastic that comes out onto the watch clasp. The Steinhart Swiss-made, I would normally call this a price tag, but obviously there's no price listed on it. And then there are some protective paper that's on there. There's also appears to be a plastic protective cover on the case back. The particular model that I got, I went back and forth, aluminum bezel versus the ceramic bezel. I think a lot of my research on the internet showed that the ceramic bezel can be a little bit difficult to see, and that the white numbers don't really pop as well as I would normally want them to pop. So the aluminum, I think, was a better choice. It was also a little bit less expensive. The ceramic bezel is like a 30 or 40 euro upcharge. Looks like the watch is very well made. Has a good weight and heft to it. The website says the watch weighs about 190 grams. The links on the watch band are not pushpin style, but instead they are the screw style. So you would actually need to use a screwdriver to remove a link, which I'm assuming in my case I probably will have to remove a link. The watch as it currently is configured looks a little bit too big for my wrist. One of the things that I also very much want to do with this watch is to put it on a leather band. And similar to a Rolex Submariner or lots of watches with metal bracelets, the pins holding the end links to the watch are not the screw type variety, but rather they can be accessed using a pin removal tool, and that you could fairly easily take this off and put it on a leather band. In my instance, I purchased a Horween band from Worn & Wound, kind of a distressed brown leather band, which I think will look pretty sharp on this. Overall, my initial thoughts are the watch looks pretty amazing. Although it warns me not to take the plastic off of the watch if I want to return it, I don't have any intentions of returning this watch. Short of it being damaged or not in working function, would be the only reason I would potentially send it back. Looks like a great watch. Looking forward to wearing it. I hope you found this video to be useful.